Welcome to Life in Calgary, Alberta. I'm your host, Patrick Murray, and today we're going to talk about should I buy a new build home in Calgary, Alberta? So stay tuned as I discuss the pros and the cons. But before we do that, if this is your first time to this channel and you want to know everything there is about what it's like to eat, sleep, breathe, live, and play in Calgary, Alberta, then guys, just make sure you hit that subscribe button and click that little bell so you get notified every single time I release a new video. Now guys, I gotta tell you, I've been living in Calgary since 2001. I've lived in 5 different cities in my adult life, but Calgary stuck. And not only that, but I've been a realtor here since 2010. And that means all this combined, I have some specialized knowledge about the city of Calgary and the surrounding bedroom communities, such as Chestermere, Okotoks, Airdrie, and Cochrane. So if you are considering a move to Calgary or one of these bedroom communities and you would like some assistance to purchase a home, I'd be ever so happy to assist you. My information is below. Send me a text, an email, or a phone call. I will definitely get back to you. Okay guys, let's do this. Let's get into should I buy a new build home in Calgary, Alberta right after this. So first, what's a new build home? So basically what happens is a developer will go, they'll purchase the land in an area. Usually these are new areas, probably further out of the city because that's where the majority of land is available. There's not a whole lot of spare land within the city proper. The developers will develop the area, the streets, so on and so forth, create lots, and then they'll sell these lots off to builders who are going to participate in developing and creating homes within the community. So you'll go as a home buyer, the builders will likely have some show home products for you to go and view so you can see what they do. You'll go and you'll talk to them about your wants and needs. You'll look at different lots and they may or may not have different price points depending on if there are different sizes, that sort of thing, and what they have to offer. You'll put a hold on a lot if you're interested, and then you'll go and do your due diligence with the contract. You'll sign some paperwork, but when you ink the contract, generally there's a down payment, and there may or may not be some draws throughout the build process. And then however long it takes the builder to build your home, whether it be 9 months, a year, or more, you will end up paying some money at the end of that process when you go to move into your brand new home. Now, as you can imagine, with any process, there's pros and cons, and that's what we're going to talk about here. We're going to talk about some pros, and we're going to talk about some cons. So let's get into it right now. So let's start off by talking about some pros. So I'm going to talk about 5 pros and 5 cons today. So starting with the pros, you get to choose your floor plan and your finishing. So this is exciting because this means you get some say in what your brand new home is going to look like. Now, if you're buying a spec home that's already built, you won't get that say in the home itself because it's already built. But generally, you'll have a say in, perhaps some flooring selections, some paint colors, tile selections, that sort of thing. You may or may not get to talk about different floor plans or some customization. It really depends on the builder and the process. You want to make sure that when you're dealing with the builder up front here and making these selections, that you get them right first time, because if you change your mind throughout the build, these can hold up the build because they may have to get some approvals to make those changes as well. So you go through, you get your selections. You might even get an appliance package to go to an appliance store that the builder uses with some discounts, of course, and select some appliances. And if you go over, well, you probably have to pay extra for that. But having the say, having that input to make your mark on your new home, hey, that is a huge pro for building a new home. Number 2 pro is homes are built to the most recent code. And this is huge because, as you can probably imagine, code for building code changes year to year depending on new developments, that sort of thing. So when you build your new home, you're getting the latest and the greatest in building specifications. And not only that, but these aren't just built by the builder, but they're also scrutinized by the city, who comes to sign off and make sure that everything is as it is supposed to be according to city code. So you're going to get the latest in the insulation and any tech that's currently being used. Your home's going to be nice and warm as well. You can have this great insulation. It's going to be the highest code. It's not going to be like my 1912 house where you can imagine the insulation is probably a little bit different according to code than these brand new homes because they use such a superior product now. So having all this new advancements in building, that is a huge bonus, a huge pro to people wanting to purchase a new build home. Another pro is, hey, it's brand new. You are the very first owner. Okay, I think we all like brand new things. We like new cars, we like new clothes, new watches. Having a new home is just as exciting. People love brand new, so nobody else has lived in that home. You are the very first people to live there, and that is a huge pro to buying a new build home. Another pro is there is the potential for increased value by possession day. So how does this work? Well, let's understand this. Building is a process. So you go into a show home, they have the prices, you are purchasing your new build home at the present prices. But your new build home may not be ready for 9 months or a year. So there is potential, depending on what's happening with the real estate market, for your home to increase in value. And when that happens, it means you have immediate built-in equity to your new build home, and that's a huge pro for many people buying a new build home. And pro number 5, hey guys, you get a warranty on your new home. Now, you know what? You buy something new, you generally get a warranty in certain cases. So you buy a new car, you get a warranty, right? You buy an appliance, you get a warranty. Well, just like that, when you buy a brand new house, you get a warranty. In fact, in Alberta, builders have to subscribe to the Alberta New Home Warranty Program. And this means as certain things break down within a certain period of time, depending on how the warranty is structured, you can go back to the builder or have some recourse to get those repairs made. And this peace of mind can be a huge pro for people buying a new build home. All right, guys, so let's get into the cons of buying a new build home in Calgary. So first off, your possession of your new build home can change. So builders generally do not commit to an exact date of when your home will be built. It's generally a time range. And they have language regarding this time range in the possession of your new property. And it also allows the builder to push this time frame later if required. Now, I'm sure we can all understand and respect that things go wrong. There are lots of moving parts in building a home. Maybe it's weather that's causing a delay. Maybe it's suppliers, that sort of thing. Who knows? So we can understand a level of delays that happen. But these delays can be incredibly inconvenient for a purchaser. So, for example, you could imagine you might have to sell your current home and you're trying to line up possession with the purchaser of your property, and you don't want to be homeless. Generally, builders will nail down a possession date within 30 to 45 days of when the home will be ready for occupancy by you. Now, this means that, again, while you need to be a little bit flexible on your possession date, you also need to be ready to spring into action so that you can move into your new home. This could be a con to some people wanting to build a new home. Number 2 con is, can you still afford the home when it comes time for possession? So oftentimes when you qualify for a loan, if you need a loan, you have to get a mortgage for your property. Mortgages generally have rate holds of like 30 days, that sort of, or pardon me, not 30 days, 90 days, I mean. But for construction loans, you can get something called a construction loan that has a longer period of time because they understand the home needs to be built. So perhaps this would be for a 1-year term. Now, check it with the jurisdiction you live in and check with your mortgage broker. I'm not a mortgage broker, so I can't give advice on that, but I believe that's a roundabout way how it works. Now, remember those delays I was talking about before? What if those delays push possession beyond the term of your loan when your loan rate hold expires? Say it's beyond that 1 year. What if interest rates have increased and you have to qualify at the new rate? Can you afford that new loan? What if at that time, and you have to qualify, what if the home prices have gone down? What if you're buying an $800,000 property and it's fallen $50,000 or $100,000, God forbid, and the bank doesn't want to loan you that amount, and you have to come up with some extra cash to pay for that property? Can you afford it? What if you get a new job and you're on your probationary period and the bank doesn't recognize that because you're still on your probationary period? Or what if you get a new job and you can't qualify for the new loan because maybe it's paying you a little bit less than you were getting before? So these are all things that could throw a real monkey into the wrench when you buy a new home. In my opinion, these could be huge cons. Don't you love extra costs and surprises? Nobody does. And this is con number 3, is extra costs after you take possession. So pay attention to those contracts when you're signing with the builder. Is landscaping included when you build your home? So that's something to pay attention to, because landscaping can be quite costly, and that's something you may have to pay extra for. Maybe the builder's, doing the front, they're going to put a tree in the front and some lawn in the front, but you have to do the back. Again, there's still a cost there. What if they're just doing topsoil? Well, what kind of topsoil? Is it that thin layer that the ground is really hard, or is it going to be a decent topsoil? These are all things to consider. Do you want privacy from your neighbors? Hey, guess what? In most cases, the majority of cases, the builder is not going to be building any fences. So to build a fence is not cheap. That's expensive. That's an out-of-pocket cost that you will have to endure. What about window coverings? Is the builder including window coverings in the home that you're buying? And do you like those window coverings that the builder is including? Those can add up. They're quite costly. They're not inexpensive. So this is another cost, and all of these costs, these extra costs, can add up. In my opinion, that's a con to buying a brand new build home. Con number 4 is no community amenities. So, as mentioned, when you purchase a new built home, you're generally in a newer area, and that means it's likely lacking some infrastructure in terms of amenities. So grocery stores, going to the gas station, the dry cleaner, etc., etc. So you may have to drive outside of the community, and in most cases you will, outside of the community to get to these amenities. What about your kids? Is this new community going to have a school? Likely not, because it's not going to have enough people there at the time. They may have a plan to build a school down the road and land allotted for that, but it's highly likely that your child is going to have to go to school in a different community, and that could mean a lengthy bus ride. So all these things add up to con number 4, in my opinion. Con number 5 is life in a construction zone. So as you can imagine, when you're buying in a new community, your home is not going to be the only home being built. So you may have to get used to the new normal of construction and living in a construction zone for a few years, because communities just don't spring up overnight. It takes a little time to get them developed. And you may have a lot of dust and that sort of thing as well. So get used to that as well, because construction zones are generally not clean zones either. The roads are going to be filthy, and you may pick up the odd flat tire from a nail falling off a truck and that sort of thing. So these are things to consider as well. Also, what about your children? Do they like to play outside? Well, I know for me, I would be concerned about my children playing outside, especially with all the trucks and strangers driving by and those great big trucks and their safety. Are they going to be okay? You're going to have to keep a close eye on them. So all of this stuff, life in the construction zone, for me, I call that con number 5. So like I said, guys, if you are considering a move to Calgary or one of the bedroom communities and you would like assistance to purchase a home, my information is below. Feel free to send me a text, an email, or a phone call. I'd be happy to assist you so you can live your life in Calgary, Alberta.